Have you ever wondered what games you should keep or you should lose? Find out here at Purge Reviews. Have you ever wondered what games you should sell or you should use? Find out here at Purge Reviews. Find out on our top 10 list what games you cannot miss. Don't forget to subscribe to Purge Reviews.
Another children's game for our review here. We have River, Roads, and Rails. This is one of those games that is more of an activity than I think it is actually a game. You're going to draw a tile, and you're going to try to place it. There is some strategy, I guess, to what you play, maybe, but you don't have any idea unless you memorize all the tiles, what's coming up, what's going to be. And you're going to have tiles that are going to have either a road, a rail, or a river on it. And it could have all three, two, just one of them. And it has to match. If there's a rail and a road coming off a tile, you have to put a rail and a road. You can't do a river unless it's starting a river. So it's one of those where you just kind of like, almost like dominoes. Like you're just drawing something. You do have 11 tiles to choose from through most of the game. So there is that. So you do have a lot of choice. But to me, it just kind of slows the game down a little bit, especially with little kids. Less is more sometimes. Maybe like 3 to 5 tiles might work better with children. 11 is just too much. The kids can't handle it, but you kind of need it because the tiles are so specific. So this is not one of my favorite games. I think there's some other games that do this better. I reviewed a game called Lily's 3-for-All that has like really 2 games. It's advertised as 3, but it really has 2 different games in it. One of them scores differently. Kind of does the same thing. It's shorter and it's easier. Now this one's going to attract children because of the theme. They love the roads, the rails, and the rivers. And it's kind of neat that when you're done, you have this little city that's set up. While the tiles are being different areas, you're using all the tiles every single time. Well, the ones that you can place anyway, and how they randomly distributed. So this is one I would probably tell you to skip unless you have a kid who just loves transportation. A lot of kids do. It's a little bit of a neat one, but there's a lot of games out there that are kind of that dominoes where you're matching the tiles together. So I would probably tell you to skip this one. There's a whole bunch that do this, and it's okay. It looks a little dated to me, but you know, what theme do you like best is really how this comes down to. If this is the one you want, this is the one for you. For me, it's going to be a Purge. Which means I'm going to let my kids have free access to this like I would a mass market game, and they can lose the pieces all they want. Rivers, Roads, and Rails is a Purge. Here are the components for Rivers, Roads, and Rails. The box does a pretty good job of kind of showing you what it is. This is a Parent's Choice Classic. You're going to get, mine came with a black and white rule book. This might be a printout of it, but that's all the rules. That's all it is, the one side. And you're going to get a number of these tiles. I'm just going to show you what a few of them look like. This is a river. You can kind of see it's got that kind of kid-drawn aesthetic to it. This has a road on it, rails. So theoretically, they all have a river, a road somewhere, or a rail on them. They're all pretty good. This is a Ravensburger game, so you know the components are pretty good. And you get a lot of tiles in here. And the case is pretty good. Center is pretty useless. There's nothing that goes in there. But there's 140 tiles in here. They're very good quality. Your kids will be able to throw this around, and you don't have to worry about them breaking it up like a lot of mass market games. For the rules, you just get kind of this one-sided piece of paper. Mine may have been reprinted. Maybe there's a color one that came with it. I don't know, but I have this little flimsy piece here. The rules are pretty simple. You're just going to lay a tile, and everything on it has to match. And you're trying to get rid of all the tiles by the end of the game. And every round, there's no way for you to get rid of it during the game. You're always going to have 10, and then when beginning of your turn, you draw an 11. But at the end, when there's no more to draw, you'll be able to lay yours out. But there's no strategy to do that. There's no way you will know what's going to come up unless you memorize all these tiles. There's 140 for a children's game. You're just not going to have the desire to do that. So The rules are okay, very easy to play. Kids pick up on it very easily. Okay, playing this game is pretty easy. You're going to start out with 10 tiles. And I'm just going to pretend like this is 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then on your turn, you draw 1 tile. And what you're going to do is you're going to be placing these tiles, and you just have to make sure that everything kind of adds up to what it should be. So that's not going to work. It's not the best tile to start with. So let me start with that just to keep things simple. And you'll see some of these have like starters where there's no rail coming off this way. There's a rail here, a road this way, but no rail there. So some of these tiles are going to be a little bit better than others. This has, so let's put this here. That obviously goes together, right? And that will be my turn. If you could make a move, then what you would do is you would just draw another tile and the next player would go. So getting these tiles that kind of, let me show you this one. Getting these tiles that kind of have things that start. So this is where the trail would end, and I could start a river and a road here. So maybe put that there, draw another tile, and then that kind of ended that, because it can be kind of difficult. So now I need something with like a road. Okay, here we go. So this has a road and water. So that's a good addition there. Now the things on it doesn't matter. They can be upside down, left and right, whatever you want. You're just matching these up. And you continue to play, and you'll do all the tiles, unfortunately, until you can't place anymore. If you're stuck, there's no more to draw, and you don't have anything to place, then that's your score. So if that was the case, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, I can't place any of these. There's no more tiles to draw. But if you, that would be my score, and you want the lowest score. You want to get rid of as many tiles as you can. So I could continue to place this here. And when you get done, you're going to have a nice little city all kind of built up and out. I've seen this done with a lot of other games. This one just happens to have roads, rails, and it's kind of neat and kind of blah, if you will. But that's how you play. Buy this game. Strictly fans of the transportation who really like that, to look at the artwork, see if it's appealing to you. It is neat how the tiles are all set up. It's kind of like that starter variant for Carcassonne. So can we get kids understanding how the pieces go together? Now, play what I feel like are better games with that, like Brandon the Brave or My First Carcassonne, or even Carcassonne itself, and it's about the farmers for children. But this may appeal to some people. Maybe it says 5 to adult. I'd probably do younger than that. I think my daughter's 6 and she's well past this. I mean, she will have fun with it. She will like this game, but I like to see her playing more evolved games that kind of stretch her a little bit more. For me, this is a miss. You can skip this one all by, but take a peek at it, see if it hits that nerve for you, and that tile matching that can teach kids how. The next step was Carcassonne or something where you're placing the tiles together and they have to be together. But I would probably check out Brandon the Brave over this one. But there is a neat aspect of how the city is built. So that's Rivers, Roads, and Rails. Going to be a purge for me, but I could see how some people would like this one.